What's up, everybody? Yo, this is Sam, aka Third Shift Millionaire. Hope you're having a beautiful day today. Today I want to talk about something a little bit different. As you can see, you're not really seeing my face. It's a different kind of recording. And what you have on your screen, it says success is not always what you see. Because this is something I had fallen into a while back, and God has always dealt with me with this. And I just want to share something with you. I picked this little pic from someone Instagram. I think it was Instagram or YouTube. I'm not sure where I got this from. I don't remember exactly where, but it was a great caption. I did crop the photo, which I will show you the rest of it. But the whole point of this recording is about not to compare yourself to other people. Never compare yourself to other people's success, because success is not what it seems. And sometimes we have something so great we're working on, but because we're looking at somebody else's, what they appear to have that's better, we tend to look down at what we have. The Bible always says, do not despise small beginnings, you know. So I just want to encourage you today just to continue doing what you're doing, because it is very important that you follow through with what you set out to do, whether it's in your business, whether it's in your life, whatever area you find yourself doing. Whatever area God has blessed you to do. So I'm just sharing this with you because sometimes, like this little guy, the little rabbit on the left, he looks like he's not happy with what he have, because he's looking at the other rabbit who's standing tall and very prideful of himself, because he's got a big bushel of a leaf. It looks so great and big and wonderful. Don't get me wrong. But yet the little guy on the left, he's just doubting himself. He looked like he's full of doubt. He looked like he's just basically wish he was in the other guy's shoes, right? He really wish he had more of what the other guy has. And sometimes we do that. We often compare ourselves with others. And then the worst thing is, sometimes we're working on something great, like a book or an idea. In this case, since we're eBay sellers or entrepreneurs, I'll just base it on entrepreneurship, on life in general. Sometimes we walk away from great things we start because we look at someone else who has more than us, and we're thinking to ourselves, man, what makes me think that I could do this or do that? And then doubts start to creep in. When doubt starts to creep in, that's when we lose the fight. And sometimes we tend to walk away, but we should never walk away. We should continue to follow through, because sometimes we walk away from something great, even though it may seem small and insignificant at the moment. But if we keep working at it, it's going to get to a point where it's very prosperous. So the guy on the left, the little dude on the left, he looks basically bummed out because his crop is not as huge as the other guy. And he's looking at it, he's like saying, dang, I wish I had what he had, or he's doing better than I am. And lo and behold, he's got his own thing he's working on. You have your own business you're working on. You have your own relationship you're working on. You have your own career you're working on. You're still doing what you have to do. So I would really encourage you to continue no matter what, because it is very important that you continue to do what you put your hand to, and not to walk away and not to compare yourself. There's a saying that goes, sometimes you have to put your head down and do the work, and that's all you really have to do is just do the work. And it's very, very important. Now, I'm going to jump to the other guy on the right, and this is for some, like, let's say by the grace of God, you get big and you become successful. This is a part to humble yourself. Humility goes a long way, because no matter what you have, you could easily lose it. So you always got to remember to humble yourself and help the person coming up behind you, or not to look down at the person who's not doing as great as you think you're doing, because humility goes a long way. Remember those who help you to get where you are, and do a reach back. It's always good to do a reach back and sow back into what someone has sown to you. Even if not so many people believed in you in the beginning, but you're where you are because of hard work, dedication, and a lot of help. Be grateful for that. But yet at the same time, humble yourself. There's a saying that really blessed me about, they say it's easy to come off the mountain than to fall off the mountain. Because if you think about it, when you're going a mountain, just imagine, because back then, like way back then, even if you watch this on YouTube, like people go up on a hill or a mountain, and when they fall, their limbs goes everywhere. They have no control over their limbs or their legs or their arms, when they're falling. But if you climb down that mountain, you have total control. So it's better that you climb down the mountain than to fall off the mountain. You know, I'm just using that as an analogy. That's for the guy on the right. Now, here's the twist to all this, right? Now, you see the next picture, right? The whole full picture. So now you're looking at the little guy who has a big carrot underneath the ground, right? This is why you should not compare yourself to other people. This is why you should not walk away from anything you start just because it doesn't look like it's growing. It could be your relationship. It could be somewhere in your dating. It could be your marriage that's just like seem to be going through their normal turmoil. It could be anything. But underneath it all, you've actually got a great harvest. And you don't see it because all you're looking at is just the surface level. Sometimes that's all we see is the surface level. But underneath there's so much foundation. Underneath there's so much good. Underneath there's so much that you've sown and you've toiled. But when the time comes for you to pull up that weed, so to speak, for that little guy on the left, when it's time for him to pull up his weed, trust me, he's going to be really, really happy. And that's one of the reasons why you have to continue when you're doing what you're doing, because you don't always see how it's going to work out. You don't always know how it's going to work out. But through sheer faith and hard work and determination, you are building a great system. You're building a great business. You're building a great family. You're building something great. You may not always see it because you're looking at the surface. Because a lot of things we do at times are thankless jobs. That's a saying that some pastor usually says. Sometimes we do think that's a thankless job, and we don't get thanks for it. You don't get gratitude for it. And sometimes we get discouraged, or we don't see the benefit of it right away from all the hard work we've been putting in. But lo and behold, things are always germinating underneath to give you a great harvest. That's one of the reasons why you shouldn't compare yourself to other people. You just have to work with what you have and do the best you can. Because you could, just like this little guy on the left, imagine if he got discouraged. Imagine if he says, "Dag, this other dude has more than I do. Look at his bushel. I'm going to walk away from this little thing I have." And lo and behold, he's going to walk away from a great harvest, from a big carrot. And the other guy has a little carrot. So sometimes you could be walking away from something great just because you're comparing yourself with others. I would say continue to toil, continue to do what you've been doing, in your heart. It could be eBay, it could be Amazon. I'm not just talking about business. This message is really about personal development, like other areas in your life. Like something in your life you've been working on and you've been comparing yourself to others. And I really believe God is telling you, don't walk away from it, because you don't know what you really have. And you could be that little rabbit on the left. You could have something so great, but then you're going to walk away because you have your eyes on someone else's. It could be their relationship that you think is going so great. It could be their business that's going so great. It could be their family that you think is going so great. But here you are, you have something so much greater that you're about to walk away from without even realizing it. And that's very, very sad. It's like that story about 3 feet from gold, where the story goes with this guy. I'm not gonna tell you the whole story, but it was I think, an uncle and nephew. They bought during the gold rush. They were digging for gold, and for months on end, they didn't come up with anything. Other people were making a killing, and the thing is, they sold the land. They sold the land because they figured it was a few months into the work. They wasn't getting any gold. And the person they sold it to started digging, and it took them only 3 feet, and they found all the gold. So sometimes you could walk away from something that's just, you're so close. You are so close. You don't know how close you are. But yet you're willing to walk away. And I would say don't. Just think twice about it. But this message is really about comparing yourself and not walking away from things that you've started. Continue to see it through. I mean, there's times you have to give up something, but you have to do the gut check, whether it's really profiting you. That's going to be between you and your internal locus of compass. But I would suggest, this is just suggestions, just think twice. Success is not always what you see. Success is not always what you see. So don't always compare yourself with what other people have, especially what you do not have, because you have plenty.